Welcome back to a new episode of Potions and Processing. I am your host, Raven White. I know I missed last week's episode, and I'm terribly sorry for that. I had a spinal tap last week, and it took a lot out of me. I had it on Monday. I usually record on Tuesday and edit on Wednesday, and I was in no shape to do that. I had terrible, terrible headaches, and I was really worried I had a spinal fluid leak for a while, so things were a little rough. So I had to sit out last week, and then the depression hit me like a truck. I'm sure that you can tell by the week before that, the depression has been hitting me really hard for a while. So, yeah. But I'm back this week. And this week, I want to talk about the fact that my abuser got out of jail. Also, the same week I had my spinal tap. So you can imagine that my emotions were wild. You will have to forgive me as I get through this video because I am sure I will at some point ramble. I will probably go back and forth. I might be incoherent. My symptoms are very symptomy today, and I'm on the struggle bus. I don't think anyone can adequately prepare you for the emotional toll it takes when someone who has so fundamentally, devastatingly hurt you and definitely did not get the time that they deserved. Because in my opinion, anybody who has put their hands on you and who has hurt you on a soul level will ever get the kind of justice that we deserve on this earthly plane. I don't think anyone can prepare you for the day when they get out. I was signed up for a victim's hotline service through my state, and it warned me of the perpetrator, of his cell status, of if he was transferring from one prison to another, if he got out for any specific reason, if he died, if he was getting out early, and of course when his release was. So all day long, I waited for that phone call. It's worth noting too that the week before and the whole month leading up to his release, I was getting calls regularly letting me know, reminding me that his release was coming up, which was both helpful, but also I definitely had it on my mind, but also it was almost invasive in a way because it was so regular. And part of that was my fault because it requires you to put a PIN in. And at this point, I don't remember my PIN. And so I could not put my PIN in. And so it just kept calling and repeating the same information and filling up my voicemail with the same information. So I just felt bombarded hearing his name over and over again. And it was just a lot. So the day of the release comes, and I think I've been preparing for it. I've been talking about it in therapy. I have been steeling myself for this. I have been acknowledging the fact that he is old. He is been in prison for a while. Surely at this point in time, he is tired. He's moved on. He won't have very many resources available to him. I am strong. I'm not a child anymore. I have family. I have friends, reframing thoughts so that I can remember that I'm the one with the power now. Well, that day, my child got out of school. We took her to a park, even though I wasn't feeling well, but she'd had a good day at school, and we're trying to reinforce good days at school, doing your best. We took her to a park, and I couldn't walk the trail with her. And it just so happened that we took her to a park that I frequently visited when I was a child. So they walked on ahead, and I sat on a bench, and my feet burned, and my body hurt. And I looked around at the trees, and the soil, and the water, and I wondered if they remembered a smaller version of me walking among them, walking with him, walking with other family. didn't have that yet, that didn't have all this yet. And I mourned and I grieved for everything, for all of it. And it was very overwhelming because I do remember a time when I wasn't all of this. And I don't have very many moments from my childhood that are happy. I have very, very few. And most of the ones that I have are just by myself, and I treasure them. So I waited all day. And as we were driving home, I got the call about 6 o'clock. He was officially released. He was out. I had so many emotions flood me. I couldn't even describe them all to you. By the time we got home, thankfully we were close to home, I realized I was having a panic attack and got myself inside, broke down, cried, tried to calm down so that I wouldn't scare my kid. Everybody wanted to hug me and touch me, which was so sweet, but also not exactly what I needed in that moment. And I think the hard part in all of this is even now I still have to be strong and hold it together and hope that it will all still just be okay. I told my partner that hopefully nothing will ever happen. Hopefully he will live his life and I will live mine, and that will be that. But for as long as he is alive, I will never have peace of mind. For as long as he lives, I will never have peace of mind. Because for as long as he is alive, I will always have the eternal what if hanging over me. Because I lived with him for 16 years of my life, more than 16 years of my life. And I witnessed firsthand what he was capable of, the things that he could do, the things I still can't speak about. And he only got a fraction of time for the things that he did. If you go back through and you watch my videos about living in the cage and what that was like, he didn't get time for that. Nobody did. Everybody got away with that. Domestic abuse, domestic violence, sexual assault, these are lifelong consequences for the victims. These are devastating, permanent things for the victims, for the survivors. However you want to call us, whatever you want to call us, whatever term, whatever label makes you feel better about it, they're permanent. They don't go away. We build ourselves up. We make ourselves stronger. We make better decisions for ourselves. We have to deal with the fallout. We have to deal with the judgment. We have to deal with everything else, however it falls, whether there is justice, whether there isn't. And truly, 100% of the time, it is never fair. And justice is never really served. And there is never adequate services. There is never adequate help. And then they get out. And we wonder, what if? And I won't stop living my life. And I won't stop speaking. I'll have to have new safety measures, and I'll have to be more careful. But I have done my best to set my life up for this time, for this day, for this space. things that you shouldn't have to think about, things that no one should ever have to think about. And yet here we are. If you also have gone through this thing, my heart is with you. You're not alone, even if it feels like it sometimes, and a lot of the time it does. A lot of the time it does. A lot of the time it feels like, what is the point? How will I ever escape this? I feel like that a lot. And sometimes when things like this happen, it almost feels like it resets me. Like all the progress I have made is just gone. And I think, well, here I am back at the beginning again, undoing all of the work I have done. But that's not true. All of the work is still here. It's just plowed. It's like a plowed field, just unearthing the things that haven't been healed. There's a fly here. How rude. That's this episode of Potions and Processing. And I hope that you are taking care of yourselves, doing something nice for yourselves, and giving back to your community, because you never know what something is going on in someone's life. I didn't say that right, but I think you know what I mean. We may be different species, but we're all part of the same family. So please, be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and I will see you next week. Hopefully.